Hello and welcome to another video. I'm out at one of my favourite nature reserves this morning, camera in hand. Today I want to talk about second-hand gear, a topic that feels more relevant than ever, especially in the world of photography where costs can quickly add up. Over the years I've picked up most of my kit second-hand. It's helped me grow as a photographer without feeling like I'm constantly breaking the bank. If you remember last week's video, I was using a new lens. Well, not a new lens per se. I was using the EF 24 to 105mm on the front of my Canon RP with the EF to RF adapter. Now I could use your help this week. You see, this lens belongs to my dad. He uses it with his DSLR camera. It's a lens he purchased on eBay a couple of years ago. And like with anything that you buy second hand, there's always that nagging feeling. Did I make the right call? Is this lens itself any good? So where do you come into the equation? Now that is a great question, really good question to be asking. You see, I'm going to try and work out just how sharp these images are that I'm sharing with you today. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. Every image that I share in today's video, I'm going to shoot in JPEG. They're all going to be edited straight out of camera. The only thing I'll be doing to the image itself, maybe a little bit of a crop, nothing else. It's just me today with the camera, with the lens, no tripod, no bag. It's quite nice actually. Talking about second-hand gear in general though, and it's as I mentioned last week, photography in general is just such an expensive hobby. It's probably my biggest frustration with how expensive it can be. So of course, one way to get around that is to buy second-hand gear. I mean, the alternative is if you go onto the Canon website at the moment, go onto their shop, you can buy a 1200mm lens for £20,000 brand new. £20,000. Jesus. Now, I know that sort of lens, it's not catered for me. It's not catering, they're not catering, I should say, for the hobbyist photographer. Spending £20,000 for a prime lens, you're gonna have to be a professional in this game to really justify that. But still, even as a professional, £20,000 for a lens. However, as I walk through these here woods at the moment, I'm reminded of the fact actually, if I think about what's in my bag, pretty much all my gear in terms of camera and lenses, they're second hand. My Canon RP, 24 to 105, my 15 to 30, none of those are brand new. In fact, the only lens that I've got brand new is my 100 to 400mm. And all my lenses, whether they're brand new or second hand, They all do what I want them to. Of all the views in Kent that I've been to and enjoyed with the camera, this has got to be one of my absolute favourites. It's some lovely light coming above the trees, just illuminating patches of this landscaping places as well. I think this might well end up being a 5-shot exposure bracket, just to make sure I can get all the light in the background. Get the bench over here to the left. And yeah, if I can capture something like what I've captured here in the past, I'm going to be really happy with how this trip turns out. Finalising my thoughts though on second-hand gear. I suppose the one thing with buying second-hand gear is make sure you buy it from the right places. eBay is a great choice, but you're buying it from a private seller. You're having to take their word on how good the condition is and making sure there's no faults, because if there are, it's not easy to return items on eBay, is it? Whereas of course if you buy from an actual seller, a company that sells second-hand gear, if you're not happy with it, you've always got the option to return it at the end of the day, haven't you? Right, enough of me yapping though. Final shot, 5-shot exposure I think, so not the final shot, but you know what I mean. Final scene. Let's see how we can do. It goes without saying, but I really do not regret coming out with the camera this morning. And to top it off, 3 weeks, the last 3 weeks I've gone out and I've come across poppies. Once again, that is not me complaining in the slightest. Quite the opposite, in fact. I've also enjoyed having you along with me for this trip out. It's always great having your company, I'm not gonna lie, in regard to that one. However, I think this is where I'm going to bring the video to a close. Oh, and thank you too to my dad for letting me borrow his EF 24 to 105mm. I'm not going to complain. I'm looking forward to getting back and out with my lighter RF camera gear, even if it means lugging my bag across miles and miles of countryside next week. However, this is where I'm going to leave you. So it leaves me to say but one thing from me to you. Goodbye.